Hey kids, ready to do another drawing? Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to draw a science machine. So there's a lot of different things that we do in the world that give us different ideas to make better things in the world. All of our ideas come from things that we know, or things that we've seen, or things that we've learned. Some of those ideas change the world. Some of them don't, but a lot of them do. Everything we use today was somebody else's idea a long time ago. So I'm going to share an idea right now that is an interesting one. First, we're going to draw a ball all the way up here. I'm just going to color in black because why not? Now I want that ball to fall. And gravity's going to do that for me. If you lift something up, it's going to fall down. Now, when I want to do this, I want to pick the ball up, I want to drop it, and I want it to fall on something nice and soft. So I'm going to give it a big cushion to land on. So let's draw a big squishy cushion, just like this. Lots of little circles, lots of little straight lines, and there we have a little squishy thing. So when the ball hits this, it'll squish down. Now the reason it squishes is because it's lighter, but it squishes slowly because it's full of air. So all the force of the ball will come down and squish air. So let's give a little hole at the bottom for the air to come out. Now, let's do something with the air. So let's take the air and let's put it through a little tube over here. Just like that. And then let's give the little tube, let's give him some sort of little nozzle to come out of that he can only go out of. So maybe there's a valve inside there and it just lets the air come out one way and nothing else go back in. So now we have a ball that's got a nice squishy spot to drop onto, and it'll squirt some air out of a tube when it gets there. Now what does air do? Air kind of floats in a way on top of whatever's heavier. So let's give the air something to do. Let's say that we're going to put a really big tube of water for our air to go into. And we'll say that this tube of water is bigger than I can draw, so we're going to do the little break symbol so that we know that this is a very long tube. And let's go up here to the top. And we'll draw some little waves in there so we know it's water. Okay, so now we have a ball that drops onto a squishy thing that pushes some air into a tube of water. And when it does that, it's going to make a bunch of little bubbles. All right, now let's see if we can do something else with those bubbles. Let's take a little bubble basket and catch them all. So let's draw maybe a little basket like this. Now we'll draw some more bubbles in here so that we know that that's where they're at. Now, when our little bubble basket fills up with bubbles, what's it going to do? It's going to float. So anything that's got a little bit of air in it that can overcome the weight underwater is going to go up. That's how everything underwater gets lifted up to the surface. So this bucket is going to go all the way up to the top. Let's give it a little track to ride on while it goes. So we'll do a little track that it can go on, and we'll put a little wheel down here maybe, and maybe a little wheel up here, and there. Now when we drop the ball and it falls and squishes our little air pad, it'll squirt some bubbles out and the bucket will catch it and the bucket will float up to the top. So what can we do with this? Well, let's figure it out. If we want the ball up there, how are we going to get the ball up there in the beginning? What if we have the air bubbles lift the ball up there? Well, how do we do that? Maybe if we draw another little track over here, just like that, and connect them, that way maybe when all these air bubbles push this bucket up, it'll slowly lift everything and it'll slowly turn this one around. And maybe after the ball hits our squishy little air pump, it just falls down here. And what happens to it down here? Well, since this is turning, maybe we can put some little catcher feet on it. And it'll pick up the ball and it'll carry it up. So we'll draw one over here that's being lifted up. Just like that. And we'll put our little feet on it. Just like that. And then he's being lifted up. So now when he gets to the top here, he'll be dumped off and he can fall. So if we have the ball that's up here that falls, pushes some air into a little bucket that can lift the ball back up again, then it should keep going with the help of gravity. I can't figure out how to do that on my own. I can't make that machine. But I know somebody can. And I'd like to do a good thing for the world. And if it works, I'd like somebody to be able to make it. And I'd like it to be able to help somebody. Lots of somebodies maybe even. So we'll see. If you can make this, we'll call it the drawing machine. Then please do. And please let me know, because it would be pretty neat to see. Now this tube too, it can be as long as we can make it, because that little bit of air can lift anything as long as there's water. So it could bring that ball up really, really high through the air. And that's something that's important, is that little bit of air can do a whole lot of work. You guys take care. Thanks for watching all my videos.